Hey everyone, this is Larry. Welcome back to Today I Feel Like. Today we're going to take a look at and compare the Insta360 ONE X2 and the GoPro Hero 10. Let's jump into it, check them out, and here we go. All right, let's go ahead and jump right into this, and I'm going to talk about 10 different categories throughout this video that I'm going to use to compare both of these cameras. And the first one is price. Now, I am going to tell you right out the bat, I think that the GoPro is a better deal right now. GoPro has their special where if you get the GoPro subscription, you can get the GoPro Hero 10 for $349. Now, that does include, well, basically the camera, a battery, and a memory card, so you're going to get pretty much a bare bones experience. However, the Insta360 ONE X2 is $429, and that's just for the camera, the battery, and I think you might get a memory card out of that, but it's pretty much just the camera and the battery, so it's a little bit more expensive. Now, if you were to go ahead and add on a max mod and a medium mod so that you can get clean audio into your GoPro, you're looking at $474. Whereas if you were to go ahead and add on the same sort of protections that you get with the GoPro subscription onto the Insta360 ONE X2, now you're looking at $507 for that camera with just the camera alone. Now, if you wanted to go ahead and add the audio adapter and the audio mount on there, that's another $19.99 each. So you're talking about another, basically $39.98. And that's going to end up pushing you up a little bit further to around $540 something. So it just basically ends up costing a little bit more for the Insta360 ONE X2. And the batteries are a little bit more expensive. You still need that selfie stick to really get the most out of the camera. So your overall cost of ownership just ends up being a little bit higher with the Insta360 ONE X2. So now this next category is third-person shooting. And that is because when you're shooting with an action camera, one of the things that you want to show is yourself doing maybe something cool, or the way I use action cameras is for vlogging. And with the GoPro, you really only get just sort of a very narrow view. Even if you have it at the wide setting, you're not going to get a full body view. But when you're shooting with the Insta360 ONE X2, you can shoot in 360 mode, and then you can actually get an entire full body shot of yourself. And with that invisible selfie stick, it looks like you have a cameraman actually filming you. There's just no beating it. For the third person view, category, the Insta360 ONE X2 just absolutely dominates. Now this next category is reframing, and again, the Insta360 ONE X2 absolutely just wipes the floor with the GoPro Hero 10. Now the GoPro Hero 10, you can reframe a little bit if you're shooting and you have a 4K timeline and you're shooting in 5.3K. That does leave you some resolution that you can use to go ahead and zoom in or move around inside the frame a little bit. But with the Insta360 ONE X2, because it is shooting in a 360-degree sphere, you can move all around. You can start off in front of you and then move to you or back to you. You can move all around. It really is a fantastic way to shoot. You just simply hit the record button, forget about it, and you reframe and post, and you don't have to worry about missing anything because that option to reframe is always right there. Now this next category is 360-degree horizon leveling. Now I'll admit I don't really use this feature too much because I use my action cameras mostly for vlogging and such. However, if you are somebody who uses your cameras for true action sports, with the Insta360 ONE X2, you're going to be able to use that 360-degree horizon leveling straight out of the box. Whereas with the GoPro Hero 10, you're going to have to purchase the Max Mod, so that the Max Mod lens, so that you can actually get that 360-degree horizon leveling, because just out of the box, the GoPro Hero 10 only gives you, I think it's around 40-something degrees of horizon leveling. right, so this next one is another clear winner for the Insta360 ONE X2, and that is field of view. When we are talking about action cameras, most people want a very wide field of view so they can see what's happening out there in front of them, or if they have the camera turned around on them, they want to be able to see all of them and what's going on around them. And because the Insta360 ONE X2 shoots in a 360-degree sphere, since it is a 360-degree camera, you're going to be able to see everything. And the GoPro Hero 10, it's just not going to be able to do that. No matter how wide the lens is, it's not going to be able to shoot in a 360-degree sphere. So the Insta360 ONE X2 is going to win this hands down. Now, this next category is a no-brainer, and that is software. And the Insta360 ONE X2 absolutely kills with software. I mean, the software really is what makes this camera so incredibly special. Now, you do have a GoPro app that you can use on your mobile device and on your desktop, but it's really nothing special. However, the Shot Labs app with the Insta360 ONE X2 allows you to do so much, from reframing to special effects. You can do stuff like flash dash. You can make your footage look like it was flown from a drone. I mean, there's just so much that you can do in the Shot Labs app. It absolutely really is amazing, and it makes the Insta360 ONE X2 camera just a really special, fun device to own. Now, let's go on to some other points here, and this is where GoPro starts to get real strong. Now, audio. First of all, straight out of the camera, GoPro has better audio. Just the audio from the GoPro Hero 10 Black is just much better. It sounds better. It sounds more full and rich. You don't have as much wind noise when you're dealing with it. In fact, let's just go take a listen to both. We'll get a sample of each, and you can see exactly what I'm talking about. Okay, so I'm recording right now using the GoPro Hero 10 with just the built-in microphones on the camera. It is just a little bit breezy up here, so you might be able to hear some of that. But let's go ahead and switch over and test out the Insta360 ONE X2 and see how its microphones sound in comparison. Alright, so I went ahead and switched over from the GoPro to the Insta360 ONE X2, and right now I am recording with the Insta360 ONE X2 and the built-in microphones of the camera, and there's still a little bit of a breeze right now, so you may be able to hear some of that. And yeah, this is what you can expect using just the built-in microphones. Now, again, with both of these, you can get a mic adapter so that you can hook up external microphones. However, I will say that the GoPro is a little bit more flexible in that sense, because you can hook up different types of microphones to the GoPro and not have it seen in your frame. Whereas with the Insta360 ONE X2, you have to make sure that whatever mic you get is going to be hidden in the seam line so that you don't have it showing up in your video. Now, this next category is image quality and resolution, and you might think, just looking at the specs, that the Insta360 ONE X2 would win this category because it has 5.7K resolution for video. However, the GoPro with its 5.3K resolution actually has higher resolution. Now, the reason for that is the Insta360 ONE X2 is a 360 camera, and it has to spread that 5.7K over a 360-degree sphere. In other words, it has two lenses, one in the front, one in the back, and it shares that 5.7K between those two lenses. Whereas the GoPro only has one lens on the front, and that 5.3K of resolution is dedicated to that one lens. It's going to give you higher resolution, it's going to give you better image quality, and as much as I love the Insta360 ONE X2, as far as image quality, it's going to lose out to the GoPro Hero 10. Now, this next category is vital when it comes to action cameras, and that is durability. Now, both of these cameras are waterproof right out of the box. However, the Insta360 ONE X2, because it is a 360 camera, has exposed lenses, and that leaves those lenses prone to getting scratched or even having further damage. Whereas the GoPro Hero 10 has user replaceable lens covers. So if you scratch the lens cover, or if you drop your camera or crash off of a motorcycle or a skateboard or something and you break the lens cover, you simply take it off and replace it with a new one. So now this next category is ease of use, and this one is going to the GoPro Hero 10 as well. And that is because the horizon leveling and image stabilization are both done directly in the camera. Whereas with the Insta360 ONE X2, that is done in the app or on the desktop software. So if you're shooting with your Insta360 ONE X2 and you want to go ahead and add horizon leveling and image stabilization, that's all going to happen afterwards. Whereas with the GoPro, if you want to say shoot a quick clip and then share it on social media, you can just download it straight to your phone, share it right away. You don't have to do anything else to it. Whereas with the Insta360 ONE X2, you're going to have to download it to your phone, run it through their software so that you can stabilize the footage and add horizon leveling. And then you need to go ahead and render out that video, and then you can share it to social media. So it adds that extra step that unfortunately can take some time, and you're going to need a pretty powerful phone to do it because it's 360 and 5.7K. Now, the other thing that makes the GoPro a little bit easier is the GoPro has that nice large screen on the back of it. It just makes it that much easier when you want to go ahead and start changing settings on your camera. It's easier to see, it's easier to navigate, it's easier to touch. It just is a little bit easier of a user experience. Now, as much as I hate to do this to you, I'm gonna have to call this a draw. I know it's terrible. I know so many of you out there want a definitive answer, and there's just not one for you. And that's because the GoPro Hero 10 does so many things really, really good. And the Insta360 ONE X2 also does so many things really, really well that there's just not an answer for you. However, I will say this. The GoPro does some things much better than the Insta360 ONE X2, and the Insta360 ONE X2 does some things much better than the GoPro Hero 10. So you just have to look at those things that each camera does better and decide which ones are more important to you, and that's how you can choose which camera you think will work best for you in the long term. So there you have it. Anyways, I'm going to go ahead and leave a link to both of these cameras down below in the video description so that you can check them out and get more information and pick one up if you're interested. I'm also going to leave links to my Amazon page and my social media contacts so you can reach me elsewhere. And I hope you enjoyed seeing this video. If you did, please give it a big thumbs up, and please subscribe to this channel and follow me on Instagram. And I am Larry with Today I Feel Like. Thanks for coming back to see me. Come back and see me soon. And until next time, love, peace, and hair grease. Peace.